Greetings, friend. This is analysis of a solve that Mark Goodliffe did on Cracking the Cryptic back in December 12, 2018. He had found this puzzle in the Puzzler Sudoku magazine in the hard section. And what Mark said is, I solved it, but it took me a heck of a long time. And for him, a heck of a long time is over 8 minutes. So I'm going to put a link below the original video. And in this, I'm actually going to add one pause the video moment and one what if moment to analyze alternate solving paths from the original video. The name of the video that Mark did was called How to Make a Hard Sudoku Really Easy. So how do we do that? Well, let's find out. And with that, it's solving time. So what Mark talks about, and he actually kind of went back and said, hey, I already solved this, but I wanted to show you how I got caught up in it. And so what Mark did is he looked, he did some simple cross-hatching, and he noticed he could solve for an 8 by the 8s here in column 4, row 3, there's only one spot for an 8 in block 2. And then he looked for the 9s, it said 9, 2 9s coming across, he could solve for a 9 down there in block 7. And then that's it. That's all he could solve that way. He didn't show any cross-hatching and any scenario rotation, but he did say at this point he got stuck for quite a while. And so my first what if moment is, how far can you get with the cross-hatching and the Snyder notation? And I'll show you that right now. And so this is what it looked like if you did all of the Snyder notation. And what you'll notice here is even by filling all that in, you don't solve any more cells other than the 8 and the 9. And you don't get drawn into any particular spot. And what I'm talking about is you would be looking for a row, row, column, or block. So you'd be looking for a house that has 5 or more cells filled in, right? Because that would tell you, oh, you have a lot of restrictions there, we're almost filled in. But there's no such thing in this particular puzzle. That's what made it so hard. And a puzzle like that's in the puzzler, the computer will crank something out like this, but it's not going to, all it's going to say is, oh, you need to, find naked singles, you need to find pointing pairs, which are pretty, easy to medium techniques. So it's going to give it a pretty easy difficulty rating, when in fact it can be a lot harder for a human to find because we have to switch from that Snyder notation, Snyder thinking to the cell notation thinking. I wanted to point this out because I cover this in my solving, single cell Sudoku. Is if you don't have a place for your eyes to look to get an anchor point, then you're gonna have a hard time figuring out that, oh, I need to look over right here and come with these 4 cells along with this 5th cell along with these 2 cells and this pointing pair in order to solve. Okay, we're back to the original solve. And Mark said he had a real hard time finding the next number. He did make some marks. He marked some 1s there because you have the 1 coming up column 9 and row 4. And that's a pointing pair. And then you have these 1s to be also a pointing pair up here in block 3. We realized that he was able to solve for a cell right here. But he couldn't get his eyes on it, and he didn't know why. And so what he said is he had to switch from Snyder type notation to cell type notation. So what does that mean? He was cross-hatching, because cross-hatching for a speed solver is the quickest way to get through a puzzle. And I mentioned this in my how to solve different methods of solving a single Sudoku cell, and I'll put a link right now. And you can check that out. But basically, cross-hatching, when you're going through looking for those hidden singles, it's so much quicker, you're going to want to do that. And so Mark is used to doing that, and he wanted to keep looking cross-hatching. When you switch over to looking for naked singles, it's going to take a little more time because now you have to analyze these different rows and blocks. But the interesting thing about this puzzle is there's no anchor point, as in there's no place to focus your eyes on where you need to start filling it. Normally, an expert Sudoku solver will look at a row, column, or house where there's 5 or more cells filled in. But if you look here, none of these blocks, none of these rows or columns have 5 cells to look in. So where would your eye go to look for restrictions? and that's a hard time figuring it out. You really can't do it. So what he ended up having to do is he finally looked across here where there was 4. Notice that he had the 6 and the 9 and then these pointing pair ones and this 8. And he's able to solve for a naked single right here. He's able to solve this 2. The other thing I would say, and the reason why it took Mark so long on this, is the difficulty level. Mark knew it wasn't, he's done puzzles before, he knew it wasn't that hard, so he was resistant to trying harder methods and harder strategies. So he didn't want to sit there and start marking up the whole grid looking for like XY wings or something. And in fact, you put this through a solver and it's going to tell you it's a medium ranked puzzle. That all you need is some pointing pairs and everything else is hidden in naked singles. So he finally solved this, and once he solved that 2, he was able to move on with the puzzle. This brings us up to our first pause the video moment. Pause the video and see if you can spot another naked single while I give you a few seconds. Okay, congratulations if you spotted it. You are an expert at looking through multiple houses to solve for a naked single. And those of you who just want to enjoy the show, you can solve this cell right here for a 5. And if you notice, you have a 1 right there, you have a 2, 3, 4, there's no 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you could solve that for a 5. I'll tell you, even if you solve this, you're not going to make a lot more progress with the puzzle until you find that 2. And so this 2 was really the key, and that's what Mark was saying. So after he did the 2, Mark said, okay, the puzzle starts to fall apart. He would mark these, sign notation for these 2s, and then he was able to solve for a 2 up here because now you have 2, the pointing pair of 2s, and the 2 come across row 2, and it starts restricting. There's only one place left for a 7 up here in block 1, and then you'll notice that the 4 comes across rows 1 and 2, so there's a 4 down here, that leaves a 3 right there. So here's your 3, there's your 4. Then you can pretty much solve the rest of block 1. At this point, with 47 cells remaining, that Mark cracks the puzzle. It's all naked and hidden singles from here. Feel free to pause the video and solve the rest, or you can just follow along with me. So when viewers watch this, they found his techniques very helpful. Some said that you could combine some hidden pair ideas to solve this puzzle, but really that finding that 2 was the key. And hopefully by showing this particular solve that you saw that sometimes you may not have an anchor point of where to look for the next cue. So you have to kind of train your mind to start switching from the cross-hatching hidden singles to spotting places where you can solve naked singles. And also the scenario notation was helpful in making those pointing pairs to help Mark do that solve. So let me know what you thought in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to Smart Hobbies so you don't miss any new content. I got a new video every day in February. Keep checking them out. I'm going to have 4 analysis videos, one a week, just like this. Please check out these other videos from my channel. In the meantime, thank you all so much for watching.